So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I wanted to focus on the fact that we, the Call of Duty community, seem to be winning this battle with Activision in terms of skill-based matchmaking, even though they would lead you to believe this isn't the scenario. Now, if you do enjoy the video at any portion, please don't forget to drop a like, and if you are new here, consider subscribing with the notification bell click so you get my Call of Duty videos as soon as they are published. So if we cast our minds back to Modern Warfare 2019, when we had the information this was going to be the next Call of Duty, anyone that was a veteran like me would have given you palpitations. You would have been dribbling at the prospect of a new Modern Warfare game on the newer generation consoles, and that was smashed out of the water when we started to get our hands on this game. It just didn't play like I expected it to. It had some great stuff about it, but the majority of the game I hated to the point where it is at the bottom of my list of Call of Duties that were good. It's down there with Advanced Warfare. Now, I know not everybody agrees with that prognosis, which is fine. That's just my opinion. It had some great aspects in the game. The sound engine was brilliant. The look of the game, the gunsmith was a great addition. The actual look and sound and feel of the weapons was absolutely magnificent. The best I've ever experienced in the franchise. But when it came to the core playability of this game, it was clear that this was aimed at lesser skilled, newer players. That is the demographic that Activision and Infinity Ward went for, and they made this very obvious when Joe Seacott had his interviews where he said he made guns more lethal so it was easier for newer players to get kills, and also the maps were more porous, so it was just harder for people who had played Call of Duty for a long period of time to get any kind of flow going on. Then we had skill-based matchmaking, which was definitely tuned up to be a lot more potent than we had seen since Advanced Warfare, and this became an overall problem for a lot of veterans, where we were stamped with this label of being the vocal minority. Tom Henderson tweeted out this tweet here, where he states, Modern Warfare's revenue surpassed 600 million in just 3 days after launch. Today's super data revealed that Black Ops Cold War generated 678 million in about 6 weeks, and that's with the integration of Warzone. So the Activision earning call will be interesting on February the 4th. Now, there's two things we have to talk about here. Modern Warfare surpassed 600 million not because it was a good game, and a lot of people have had this conversation with me previously, and I still stick to my guns on my feeling of this. Modern Warfare was a marketing ploy that absolutely worked in every way, shape and form. They used a very famous series, the Modern Warfare series, said it was going to be rebooted, and had this, people like me had this preconceived notion of what type of game they would get. We already anticipated in our head what we would experience before we even touched the game, and as time went on, we obviously saw through the beta that we weren't going to get that experience, but we still thought we might, because they made changes from the beta. The most famous one, the minimap was changed because there wasn't a minimap at all, and that gave us enough hope to believe maybe they will change the game into the game that we want eventually, which never ever came. And that was to my frustration, along with many other Call of Duty players. Now, with the Black Ops Cold War aspect of this, 678 million in about 6 weeks, that is a massive gulf between the two games. And it shows one thing. One, you will never be able to use that title again to manipulate the Call of Duty community, because we were duped, and I can say I was duped by Activision, and it will never happen again. And I feel like Black Ops Cold War, the name has been used again, the Black Ops series, which is another powerhouse when it comes to Call of Duty. It couldn't do the same tricks as Modern Warfare, because Modern Warfare 2019 had already tricked us. Listen, I know a lot of people do not like Cold War, mainly because of how high skill-based matchmaking is dialed up. But in terms of gameplay itself, when we talk about the playability of the game, if skill-based matchmaking wasn't so rife in this game, I can already say I have a lot more fun than Modern Warfare, simply because traditional perks like Ninja are back in the game. I can do what I do as a rusher. But there are still so many problems with Cold War, so don't get that twisted for a second. Overall though, it feels more like a traditional Call of Duty game than Modern Warfare 2019 does. And that was my biggest issue with Modern Warfare 2019. What's very interesting here is Cold War has generated 678 million in 6 weeks. And we've had so much arguments, debates, conversations about skill-based matchmaking, whether it's been with the developers, whether it's been at Bobby Kotick, Activision, and they still maintain that the best way forward is with this heavy, thick, skill-based matchmaking that we have all complained about. Again, we keep getting called the vocal minority, but we just can't be. And the reason we can't be is because Modern Warfare surpassed 600 million in 3 days after launch. Now, if you're new to the franchise, you don't care for Modern Warfare, that does not mean anything to you. People who are going to return to this franchise and play it again as guaranteed players are people who know what what those words mean, Modern Warfare. You would have had to experience those games in their prime to understand what this game could have meant for you, and I was one of those people. So it doesn't make sense to me that a reboot would generate that much interest from people who are new to the franchise. I think a massive portion of people who played Modern Warfare 2019 would have played a Call of Duty before and not been brand new to the franchise. So it's a very interesting time to see this particular tweet from Tom, because it really states to me that Activision are actually losing their grip on the franchise and are not doing as well as they have forecast to us previously. They have to do something. They have to change something. And I genuinely believe that people have been down in tools in terms of not buying the Battle Pass. And even though people like Blame Truth turned around and said he probably won't make a significant difference, I wouldn't count your chicken so quickly, because it seems as if people are genuinely fed up of the BS that's going on with Call of Duty and are starting to vote with their wallets. 678 million, listen, it's not a shabby figure, but when you put that into comparison of another game that almost accumulated that in 3 days, it says a lot, doesn't it? So it seems to me as if we are actually winning a battle that we may have thought wasn't winnable in the first place, and maybe it's time now to really start pushing this agenda forward and trying to beat these money hungry bastards. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, I hope they tickle your fancy. And as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.